Look at the glory there. That is some beautiful coffee. Well, the coffee's flowing and it's time to get going. Hey, welcome back to Questions Over Coffee. My name's Kevin Smith. It's good to see you again. Want a cup of coffee? Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you don't miss anything that's coming up on Questions Over Coffee. If you have a comment or a question, leave it in the section below. We'll get to it just as fast as we can. Today's question comes from Mike Wilt 92. Mike writes, I have a question. Would it be sinful for someone to do undercover work in law enforcement or work for a federal agency like the CIA? Both rely on deception, but does God ever permit such things for the sake of protecting people from harm? Perhaps another example, what ought a Christian do if he or she is hiding Anne Frank in their attic and Nazis are at the front door asking if you're hiding any Jews? Should we lie for the sake of protecting the innocent? Mike, this is a great question. And it is a very tough one. It is one that Christians have come down on both sides. Some will say, hey, yes, it is different than quote unquote daily life because it's a job, because it's for the government. Some will say it's absolutely not different because, well, the person is a Christian and we don't just put our Christianity on hold to do a job to benefit our family, to benefit ourselves, things like that. I can tell you these seem to me at least as two different issues. One being the profession of the law enforcement. You're absolutely right that undercover work does require to be, at least on some level, deceptive. Now, if a Christian wanted to do undercover work in law enforcement and did not actually want to be, say, on the front lines as the undercover agent, they might be able to run the recording equipment, things like that, assuming that that is part of the undercover work, and bypass the entirety of I'm lying to these people to get them to, expose a crime ring or whatever the case might be. That might be one answer there for you. As far as the CIA, things like that, I don't have a clue how it operates. As far as I know, they only handle spy stuff. Maybe it is one of those situations where recording equipment or planning, things like that could be done and still be on the up and up. As far as being truthful, I have no idea on that. One thing that we do see, though, is that governments are given, I'm not sure what word to use here, rights, privileges, responsibilities, duties. I'm not even sure if that's the right word. In, say, Romans 13, if you look at that, 1 through 5, talks a little bit about some of the responsibilities that the governing authorities have that are not extended to, say, society. Here is what Paul writes in Romans 13, 1 through 5. Every person is to be in subjection to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and those which exist are established by God. Therefore, whoever resists authority has opposed the ordinance of God, and they who have opposed will receive condemnation upon themselves. For rulers are not a cause of fear for good behavior, but for evil. Do you want to have no fear of authority? Do what is good, and you will have praise from the same. For it is a minister of God to you for good. But if you do what is evil, be afraid, for it does not bear the sword for nothing. For it is a minister of God, an avenger who brings wrath on the one who practices evil. Therefore, it is necessary to be in subjection, not only because of wrath, but also for conscience sake. The governing authorities are the ones that, Paul says, bear the sword. They make the judgment. They are supposed to be protecting the nation. They are supposed to be protecting the society from threats, whether it be foreign or domestic. So it's one of those situations that the governing authorities, whether it be the White House or whether it be local authorities, have responsibilities and duties that you and I, being in the private sector, being in society, do not have. Punishing criminals, setting laws, things like that, and other things as well. That may also play into it as well, that they have differing responsibilities where maybe lying is necessary to protect the nation, or take care of a situation on a larger scale. I don't know. One thing we do see, Old Testament examples, I'll just give you one. The spies that were sent into Canaan to spy out the land before the Israelites went in to conquer. They're spies. They're going to stand out. They would have had to go unnoticed in some cases and possibly lie in others. You do see Rahab lying on behalf of the spies as well, that she was hiding. But as far as a New Testament example, I do not see one. I have not found one. One thing that we do know is that there were saints within Caesar's household. What their jobs were, what their duties were, who knows? We weren't told, but Paul does tell them that they have to leave the household or leave the government, or whatever that case is. So it could very well be that it is a different bird altogether. So I have a question for you. What do you use for criteria to decide whether it is appropriate or not for a Christian to serve in a government position that requires them to lie? Leave me a comment in the section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you don't miss anything that's coming up on Questions Over Coffee. Thank you for joining us today. I look forward to the next time. Have a blessed week. Keep pressing forward.